Okay, so Dominic Solanke, Philip Billing, and the lads doing a job on Manchester United. They're 3-0. It's a result that has put Erik Ten Hag's job into sharp jeopardy. Coach Christopher Nimley is on the tactical board. Coach, let's get to the goals that United conceded and let's see exactly where the problems came from.
Okay, so before I get my screen rolling, there's a point I really need to emphasize on. This Manchester United team is noted for their inconsistency. Their form has been very, very undulating throughout the season. So on Wednesday, they took on Chelsea. They dealt with Chelsea very, very well. Yeah. Although you and I do believe that the number of turnovers that occurred in that game at that level is unacceptable. So in this game, if you are going to a game against Bournemouth, a team that has never beaten you before at Old Trafford, having beaten Chelsea, one of your rivals, you should build on that, having in mind that a week from today, you are going to Anfield, where you were humbled 7-0 last season. So mentality-wise, I just couldn't understand what United was all about. Now let's roll the first goal. I'll roll it on, and then I'll pause it here. Now watch. Absolutely no difficulty at all. Amrabat wins the ball. This is Amrabat. He wins the ball. He gave the ball to Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes, under no pressure, saw McTominay. So Bruno decided that technically, I can chip the ball over these two Brentford players and give the ball to McTominay. Now look at the desire of McTominay to win the ball. When Bruno gave the pass, there is a Bournemouth player who is completely out of focus. Nobody can see him coming. But the moment the ball gets to him, as to how McTominay allowed him to win the ball, a lot of desire right there. He didn't show any commitment.
I love the fact that we can freeze these frames. Because in the space of 2 seconds, a lot has happened. In that sequence.
A lot happened in that sequence. Now, once McTominay lost the ball, one would have said, look, if I'm the one doing the analysis there after the match to this place, if he had shown a lot more desire, he would have committed the foul, even if he didn't win the ball. That would have meant
stop the sequence from
stop the sequence from happening. He didn't do that. Now look at the positioning of Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw, the two centre-backs. Clearly, the gap between the two of them, unacceptable. Huge gap. This is more than 10 yards apart. More than 10 yards. And in a game of football, if you are my partner, you clearly cannot be more than 10 meters away from me or 10 yards away from me. That is why you see the 18-yard box. When you look at this, we can't see the next one in picture, the next edge in picture. But when defensively, when you are there, you are supposed to get closer within the 18 yards such that the gap between one center back or the two full backs and the two center back is not more than 10 yards apart. The moment that was the problem. Look at Solanke. He knew exactly where he had to be. So all he needed to do was to attack the first post. Once he attacked that post, if the ball gets to him, it's into the back of net. And that was exactly what happened, giving Andre Onana no chance whatsoever to get to the ball. Bang!
Brilliant finish.
Brilliant finish. He didn't need to. He knew where he had to place the ball. And the moment he did that, it was back in the net. Now, so that meant that it was Bournemouth 1, Man United 0, Bournemouth 1. Now look at the second goal. Again, this is Bournemouth 1, this is Bournemouth 2. Look at the second goal. Beautiful. I like where we've gotten the screen from. Look at Luke Shaw. This is Luke Shaw. Actually, the pass came from him. He forced the pass. When it was a set piece that he needed to execute, he should have given the ball to Bruno here. That was an option. He could have gone this way to Maguire. And then he chose to place the most difficult pass, which was more or less trying to hit the ball into this very space here. Trying to hit the ball into this very space here. To who? Only Luke Shaw can explain.
Played it into space for his man?
For who? He should have seen this Bournemouth player that the moment the ball bounced, and it had rained throughout, it had rained. So the pitch was a bit slippery or very skippy. So once he didn't get the pass, now everybody watch. I'm going to show you the lackadaisical defending of the Man United setup. Watch. Let's play it. So they get dispossessed. Now look at the movement of Luke Shaw, everybody. Look at him. You see? This is Luke Shaw. This is Harry Maguire. Let's play this again. It is going. It is going. It is going. Where are all of them going? Where are they going?
All tracking down
Look at
one
that.
ball.
All tracking down one ball. One, 2, 3, 4. Where are they going? Luke Shaw, who had given the ball away, should have clearly seen that in Dallo, in McTominay, in Maguire, this guy was under control.
Yeah,
so he now should have turned around and begin to what? Look at the goal scorer. Look at the gap between he and Philip Billing. Where was he? Look, I was asking myself, where exactly was Luke Shaw going? There wasn't the need to go and add up to the already 3 players. Now look, after that sequence, if you pause it here, Diego Dallo, you don't go and get to the ball and stand. You should be doing what? You should be closing. You should be preventing that cross from being made. He didn't make the cross. Again, everybody, look at the position of Harry Maguire. So Luke Shaw, at the beginning, had a wrong movement. He can see this guy, but he cannot see this guy. And this is regular. He was completely in front of the ball, so there was no way he could have made the tackle. If Harry Maguire was, again, very smart and had seen that McTominay and Dallo had the crosser of the ball covered, he should have been backpedaling. Because he was not, Luke Shaw's focus was on this, but the cross actually picked up Philip Billing, who was the player at the last ball. And then by the time Luke Shaw knew, he was all over him, heading the ball.
And he has his beating.
Philip Billing is 6'5". 6'5". Again, this is kindergarten. You don't beat Bayern Munich on Tuesday if you play like this. You don't beat Liverpool on Sunday if you play like this.
Let's get to the final.
That was the second goal. Now let's go to the final and last goal. Again, very routine. I've always complained that for me, I'm always over the moon. No, I think I've picked the wrong one. I'm always over the moon when my team scores from a set piece. But when we concede from a set piece, I go ballistic. Now, it is 10v10 on the pitch. They have a corner kick. One of their players have gone there. And one of the Man United striker has held up 2 of the Bournemouth defenders in their half. So if you were to do the numbers, it was actually 9v7. As to how 9 players would allow one of out of the 7 players to have a free header into the back of the only God knows. Where was he coming from? Again, that was Harry Maguire's marker. You see, because Maguire is that big among the United players, and when it comes to set pieces, defending or even attacking, once he goes up, he's the obvious target. This is what Bournemouth did so smartly. They got a player to block the movement of Harry Maguire. By the time he could shuffle himself up, bang, the ball was in the back of the net. And look, I normally do tell this to up-and-coming players. Whenever there's a cross coming from your opposite side, the tactics is that return the ball back to where it came from. And therefore, Onana could only see, and the ball was in the back. There was nothing he could do about it. So again, it is very clear that the fact that Erik ten Hag is unable to play with a settled back four, always changing, the chemistry is dead. I want to believe that Rafael Varane is being forced out of this team. Although he's been injury prone, but he's one player that I will always say, if he's fit enough to sit on the bench, he walks straight into that team. Because in the absence of Lotario Lisandro Martinez, Rafael Varane is the leader at the back of this Man United team. Maybe the Player of the Month award given to Maguire took him to sleep. So that was absolutely shambolic, unacceptable.
Brilliant from Coach Christopher Nimley there in terms of giving us a tactical understanding of how Manchester United conceded the goals that they conceded in that particular encounter. 3 goals conceded by Manchester United there. So very interesting. Let me take Edwin's thoughts on this particular game. Edwin, is Ten Hag getting fired? Because at this point, this is dire.
Look, there are worrying signs for United. And I've said several times here that I feel United, there are moments where they are giving a false sense of security. The Wolves win at the start of the season. They shouldn't have won that. They didn't play well, yet they won, and everyone was happy with them. the Everton win recently. They were not impressive in that game. They won. Everyone was happy. They didn't care about how they played. The Chelsea win. A better Chelsea side wins that game.
Yep.
Chelsea were atrocious, and yet United barely won that game. A better Chelsea side wins that game. False sense of security. Everyone is happy with the 3 points. No one cares about what else happened, how they played. In this game, Bournemouth came into it with a very good strategy. Right at the start of the game, they knew United had a problem playing out of the back because Onana, his confidence is a little shaky. Passing out of the back, he doesn't have players he can trust to receive those balls. So anytime they got onto the ball, kick it straight out of play. They kicked it out of play near the corner flag. And then they set up. The 3 forwards were pushing up on the United defenders. So no one could advance, forcing United into mistakes. Bruno Fernandes's pass to McTominay, a mistake there. They take advantage. In other instances, they were bullied every single opportunity. McTominay bullied. Luke Shaw bullied in the box. And then Amrabat and Maguire bullied for that corner, the third goal. It's not just defensively that United have problems. Offensively too, there are lots of issues. Not because the players can't score, but because of the decisions that certain players are making. And you point to one instance where Dalot was inside the box with Højlund to his left. He decided to take a shot from an impossible angle when he could have squared to Højlund to put the ball in the back of the net. That is a terrible decision. And you see that from the stats. United have a 7.4% shot conversion rate in the Premier League. That's the lowest in the Premier League. Lower than Luton, lower than Sheffield United, lower than Burnley.
That's serious.
These are 3 teams that are being marked for relegation. When you have a lower shot conversion rate than these 3 teams, there are serious problems in your squad.
Serious problems in the squad.